you can go to the next thing.
Yeah, definitely. I thought I. mm, oh, okay. Okay, so I do. So there's two types of students that would go to do this. Students that we have video of their work, and then students that we just have photos, right? So like this is somebody that did textiles, and we actually have short video of their work.
Cool.
Like this. Those are the students that recently came to.
You're just sharing you're only sharing the program, the Premiere Pro.
Oh shoot. You would think I know how to use Zoom by now.
I do it all the time. Once you choose, then it kind of just keeps it on on that choice, you know? So I'm always thinking they're seeing something.
Yeah. Okay. So you can see this.
Yep.
Yeah. So we have some video, depending on if the student was there. Who else was there? Nataman was there. I'm waiting on the photos from these particular students.
So you have a little bit of like a behind the scenes kind of footage for some of them.
For some of them, and then there's
Interviews or
video where
anything?
the model is not in it, but I don't know what happened. Oh yeah, there we go. So closer up, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna mix photos and video just so you can see both. So basically,
Sure.
let me drag Nataman into Premiere. So I already made a sequence that's 9:16.
You can drag a whole folder. That's good to know.
Yeah, so now it shows up in my bin, and here's all my videos in that folder. So I went to new sequence, and then in sequence settings, you go and select this one, RE Cinema, and then the frame rate is 23.9, the first one. And then this is where it matters, like the pixel dimension right here. The first one is width, the second one is height. So with the pixel dimension, that's where I do 1080 by 1920. And that's a 16:9 dimension. And then yeah, and then you just hit OK. And then you have this dimension that looks like basically you turned your phone this way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want me to name sequences according to the student or something? Or
yeah, this is one of those things where like sometimes I'm moving fast and I just make a new sequence and then just. But yeah, you can name the sequence settings, and then rename the sequence. Or actually, sorry, in here after you make the sequence.
Yeah, or do it as I export it or whatever.
You can rename the sequence here. So test student. Okay. Now so these particular videos, what's cool is that they were filmed in slow motion.
Okay.
So if I grab one, just throw it onto the sequence, it's gonna say the frame rate is different, and so I just keep existing settings. And then here we have it. I don't know if this is a good one actually. I don't know, might be. Yes. Huh. I don't know how you can get closer. That's interesting. Hmm.
So with a lot of these, there's only going to be a few frames that we really want to use, but it's going to give it at least a video feel as opposed to this slideshow.
Yeah, okay, this one's cool. Okay. So we'll go here. Now the video was also shot in bigger than this frame. So
Yeah.
we have some play and some stuff to work with. So like this one, pretty cool because it fills the frame. And so I just kind of move it around. And then play it back. So like that little clip, I would just cut that real quick. Delete. And then this part, because this video is shot in slow-mo, we can change the speed and duration here to 50% and slow it down.
Even more than it was shot, huh?
Well, playing it back in 50% is how you get the slow-mo, because the actual sequence setting is 24 frames per second. So when you mix frame rates like that, you get slow motion, basically. That's the idea. So I just
you did a mark in at the beginning and then you dragged it up to where you wanted it to end and did another mark. Is that right?
So my original clip was like this long, right?
Yeah.
And I just cut it. So I used a razor blade. And
well, yeah.
I just
no, I can cut a clip. I'm wondering, you decided to scan up because the picture was bigger than your frame. And instead of sizing it into the frame, you decided to scan from the bottom to the top.
The video's doing that. This
the video's
particular,
doing that?
yeah. This
okay.
particular thing, the video is doing that. So we will have to do that marker that you're talking about for the photos. For the photos. but this one, see, the video did that. Okay. And because it's so zoomed in, we see it like doing that motion. So that was intentional when we filmed the video. Like it was like I was thinking, oh, okay, this is what's gonna happen in the frame. And yeah, so that's why. Cool. So yeah, so the video is doing that. So just for so that would be one, that would be like a video in there. And then if we want to get a little slower, because actually see it in slow motion, dump the speed down to 50%.
You just keep going more and more down.
And then that's pretty much in video accuracy, 50% speed there is where you don't like, it's not jumpy. It doesn't lose any frames. Like it's smooth. Okay, so that's video. But then if I went in and I grabbed a photo, you're right. So the photo would need to be done in that process. So I'm just going to grab another student's photo. So say we had this photo. I'm just going to grab one photo for right now, since this is just a test. And we drag the photo onto the timeline here. I just add default transition. So when you're here in between the clip right here, your cursor changes to this red icon. If you right click, you can apply default transition, which is just like a simple cross dissolve. It's like, so when you hit play, of course it's not rendered. Hold on, let me just render it. It shouldn't take too long. I just bought a new computer. I have yet to set it up though.
Oh, nice. I feel like buying computers is going to be something we do more and more often now.
Yeah, it's gonna be necessary. It was a semi big purchase, but it just I had to get in the mindset that like I make all my living off of my computer.
Yeah. Well, like at the beginning of COVID, it's just like you can't decide not to, right?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it's like not having a telephone. Like you can't
Yeah,
function.
exactly. So see that simple cross dissolve.
Right.
So that's a default transition. That's a very quick way to get the transition in there.
Is the default already set, or do I just click
Yeah,
it'll
Premiere's
do
default
the cross
transition in
dissolve?
between Premiere's default transition in between clips is a simple cross dissolve.
Okay.
So that's why that's like a little quick shortcut. But yeah, so now we would need to go to the beginning of this clip here, this photo. The menu is called Effect Controls. Right here, when you have the clip selected, you go to Effect Controls, and we are going to affect the position, essentially. So I have the photo pretty zoomed in. We could change the scale of the photo if we want to. It is worth waiting. It's catching up.
One issue with this is that it's going to look like a whole bunch of different people's aesthetics. So, like when you say how
No,
much
no,
to
no.
zoom
So
in,
I'm
all that
just
kind of
doing this
thing.
because for the test, it's all going to be in sequence, right?
Uh-huh.
It's going to be the same student. Then it's going to end, and then it's going to go to another student.
Right.
And
Okay.
there's going to be a lower third with the student's name.
Right.
Yeah. It wouldn't be, you wouldn't like,
But like if I edit one thing and you edit another thing, do you want to give me direction on like what you want one to look like, or what your overall?
honestly, my direction is just the details. Honestly, like, and some details, some full body. So, like this photo here,
Yeah.
you
Mhm.
could basically get 2 frames out of this photo because the photos are so big. So,
Yeah.
right now, say we created a movement of this photo, right?
Mhm.
The way it currently is. So I would go to position, right? And I would set a keyframe by clicking on the clock right here
Yeah.
at the very beginning. So that locks in that particular position. And then I would go to the end of the photo. The last frame.
Uh-huh.
And then I would, on my position, for this one, let's do the vertical position, or we'll do horizontal position.
So you type numbers in. Can I just drag it in the?
You can hover over your cursor over the numbers here, and it will move it. So you can see I'm like sliding my
Oh, you
finger.
hover and then you hit the up and
Yeah,
down,
and
or the right,
you
left, and
hold.
right.
Yeah, you hold. I'm holding down on my trackpad or your mouse,
Mhm.
and you just when you hover over the number, you see the cursor changes to a little left and right arrow.
Mhm.
See that?
Okay.
That it changes to a hand
Mhm.
with a left and right arrow. That means you can click and drag. So I'm just gonna have it go to the side. Okay. So now basically the movement will be just like that.
Mhm.
So the way you activate that is by, again, let me go back. Okay. Go to the front part of the clip. Make sure that this clip is the one highlighted. You
Yeah.
select position, you select that the stopwatch, you click it, it creates the keyframe there.
Yeah.
Then you go to the end of the clip. Now the end of the clip is going to be black, but what I use my arrow to touch back 1 frame.
Okay.
Then I hover over the horizontal positioning and I'm just going to drag. My computer's going to catch up in a second. There we go.
And once you drag it, it just sets that as the final frame. I don't need to
The
go
final
like
frame.
top
Yeah,
on
it
top
made the
again.
frame right here. Yeah, because I have this selected. As long as you
Yeah.
have the stopwatch selected, it creates those keyframes. And then
Okay.
there we go. We have movement.
Yeah.
Now, what's cool though is that because the photos are so big, and this is where like I think makes it, we could use that same photo, this one, right?
Yeah.
Copy it, come here at the after and paste it. And I'll just make sure that they go together. Yeah. And I can create different keyframes now and different scale with the same photo. So what I could do is hit the
You can do full
stopwatch.
body, or you can show the
Yeah.
neck line, whatever you want.
So I'll turn off the stopwatch to get rid of the keyframes.
Okay.
So I'm not going to do the same movement. And then what I'll do here is potentially maybe we want to do, instead of positioning left to right, we grow in scale.
Yeah.
So I'm going to actually bring the scale down so
Yeah.
we can see the full body, which I think 50% should see the full body. No, the photos are really big, 25%.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. So now we don't want to see those black lines. So I'll just put her body in there. And then now I'll
Like
set
just clicking
this.
up and down arrows again to get that one to work.
I'm doing the hover again on the scale right here.
Yeah.
I'm hovering over and I'm clicking and I'm dragging
Oh, okay.
on the scale slider. So any number here, you can hover over and click and drag left to right.
You just drag on top of the number. You don't have to go back over to the picture.
No. As long as I have the right object
Right thing
selected,
selected.
then I go here to effect controls. These controls are going to be related to what I have selected.
Great.
And so then I can just, so I'll set a keyframe here at the beginning of the clip. Again, similar stopwatch on scale instead of position.
Oh.
And then I'll come to the end of the frame, the end of the clip. And again, so I go until I see black, and then I hit arrow left, one keyframe back.
Got it.
And then I just change the scale. Again, click and drag, and then there we go. We will zoom in. So now we have the same photo, but two separate looks, essentially.
Right.
Oh, and then that default transition. So again, hover in between the clips till your cursor changes to this red arrow.
Yep.
And then right click,
Right.
secondary click, apply default transition.
Okay.
And then here we go. Let me just let that render so it'll play smooth.
Talk to chat.
I'm on a meeting.
You should be able to play back without rendering, not just doing it because on Zoom sometimes.
Yeah, it's right. It's like when you're trying to show a student something, which are.
Mm.
And it's always something.
So there are photos I need to go pick up. I was supposed to do it yesterday. I need to go swing by Anne and get some photos off of her hard drive. And then from this last shoot. that happened.
So you're still
Um,
collecting work from students?
well, we did the photo shoot. I just haven't picked up the photos.
Okay.
So I need to grab those from her, and I need to upload these to
Okay.
that you can grab them, right? So okay, so basically, if this student had a video, so I actually don't think particularly this student with photos had a video. So I'm gonna take out the video just because for context. So basically, it would just be this.
You don't have to render it again. I think I know what it's going to do. So some of them are you're going to have some video to plug in between some photographs.
Yeah.
Some of them are just going to have stills and
Yeah, but then we gotta play it and see. Like this feels too fast.
yeah.
Like this pace is great, but then it was like, "Phew, okay, that's too fast, right?" So
Right.
I'm gonna go back to this one right here, the end point,
Uh-huh.
and I'm actually gonna adjust the scale at this particular keyframe
Right.
to not be so big.
Right. You can either make it not so big or you can extend the length of the
clip
thing or whatever.
Yeah.
To clip to make it feel better. So I'll do that kind of thing and put them all together, I guess. Like I told Anne, I'll just be the sous chef. If I put it all down, then maybe someone like you could look at what I put together and make some more decisions about, oh, that's transitioning too fast or something and make some slight tweaks to something.
Mhm.
Or if you don't have time to do that, maybe you'll just, it'll be as good as it gets and I'll play it. Whatever works.
Yeah, no, I think that can work.
I'll make it as nice. I'll make it as nice as I can. I don't have a lot of Photoshop experience, even though I'm teaching people how to do certain things.
The great thing is that in Premiere, there's not a lot of design required for this one in Premiere, right? It's literally working with your frame and revealing what you want in the frame, right? It's just moving things around within this frame, making it bigger, making it smaller.
The video to the stuff you want to show, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I do in Premiere Pro is I just take, like I'll do like we're doing right now. I'll record this lecture, right? And then I'll just cut out whatever I don't want to be in there, basically. Is what I do in Premiere Pro. But I'm learning to do some of these things. So the transition is great. That's something I needed. And the slide thing, I just sort of watched a video the other day, but you're doing it a much easier way than they showed me in that thing. So
yeah, you can type numbers in here too, but I've just become so accustomed to using the keyboard and the mouse that like I just click and drag, where so I think so that's that one, but that's basically it. And you saw the one I showed you, Sean did. That's basically what Sean did, except he used iMovie.
I didn't look at Sean's, so I should look at Sean's before I started.
Oh, because I wasn't sharing my screen at that point.
Did Sean send a link that we were all supposed to watch?
No, I should. It's this one. I'll just show it to you. Can you see this?
Yep. So this is how it's going to play, and the black on the sides is just going to go out of the frame, basically, right?
Imagine that this is gallery walls, and this is your screen with the frame. Yeah, it's just playing like this because it's on Dropbox.
Okay.
If this was on your phone, it would fill the screen.
Right.
Yeah. But it's basically what I did. Just.
We do want it to move really slow.
Mm-hmm.
And
so the movements are gradual.
Just basically put a tiny bit of movement into their photographs is what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to put their name thing. Anne's making names and colors and all that stuff for each of them or something, she said.
Yeah, I don't imagine the name being right here where he placed it. I imagine the name being lower, in like more of a like, and having maybe a box, which I'm gonna try to design that today to drop on top, which should be fairly simple. So if I give you the same folder structure that I have, right, and then you create the files in Premiere, all you have to do is share the Premiere Pro file and I can open it and the folder structure is the same. So that's why I want to give you a folder structure. That because of that, I don't think you can work on it right this second because we have to upload the files, which is annoying, but it's just what it is. I'm going to go try to grab the files from Anne and then go to my buddy's apartment that has fast fiber internet and run and upload.
Get some stuff done. Okay.
Right.
So probably tomorrow morning.
I will let you know when the files are there and send the link, basically, that you can grab them. And hopefully you could at least just leave the computer today, downloading the files. Because it might take a second to download on your end.
Right.
But yeah, that's the gist of it.
And then re-upload it somewhere, I guess.
No, you wouldn't have to re-upload. That's what I'm saying. You would just send me the project file, which is really small. Because I have the same files and the same file structure on my end, and I'll just open the project.
So I download what you give me and I do my thing with it, and then I don't re-upload it somewhere.
That's gonna take too long. So you can
where's it gonna?
So project files can be shared and reopened on other computers. It's just gonna look in the same file structure, the same referencing. So like say you have the same exact folder structure on your computer that I have, and I have the same exact files. You can just share the project with me, and then I can open it and see exactly everything you did.
Cool.
The reason why I say that is that I might have to drop the lower thirds on top of the videos. But if I get the design for the lower third done, then I can just share that with you. And then for each one, you could run an export, and that's when you'd upload it. If you ran an export, I can give you export settings that, and then that's where I would have you for each student put it individually, like put them in a folder and upload them to a folder. So, yeah, that might be, if we can fit that into the workflow where you run the export of the video and then upload the final to a folder, then we could do that.
Well, we'll figure that out when it's time.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Sounds like you've got the rest of it figured out. So
I can send a screenshot of the export settings that would work, that are just good to export these as.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's the gist. I'm gonna text Anne and see if I can go grab these files from her, and then
send me the link to the recording that you just did, and I'll go through and make sure that I can do that.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I can. It's just if I do it once or twice today, then I'll be a little step ahead when I get the files tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Cool. right? And I'll send you a text
Cool.
if I can't figure something out, I guess, but should be doable.
Sounds like a plan.
So you say there's no design involved, but I do need to probably think that there's going to be a bottom strip with their name in it. It's going to cover the bottom couple
Yeah.
inches at the bottom.
I think the movement will kind of alleviate a little bit of the coverage. And my idea is that that bottom strip, the word like potentially
Well,
would
like if their
be.
name is in a strip at the bottom
Mhm.
and I start something scanning and the bottom of the dress is at the bottom of the thing, shouldn't it start scanning at the bottom of the dress up a little bit so that they're gonna see the whole dress?
Still make everything fill the frame. I think that nuance is just gonna take too much time. And so I
Yeah.
think just fill the frame
Just
and
deal
this
with the
is
frame.
yeah, fill the frame and then if it gets blocked, it just gets blocked at some point. And some other video, you'll see the whole thing. You know, like it just that type of thing. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right, cool.
Sweet.
Thanks.
Yep. I will be in touch.
All right, let me know how I can help.
Okay, cool.
Have a good day.
All right, later.
Bye.